By the way, I love this song. 3 truth bullets. Let's see if we can't find that contradiction.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
That's actually very plausible, but there's one thing that caught my eye, just a small detail that I was looking for. But who really attacked first? That's what I gotta know. There's one thing that doesn't add up from what we all discussed. One more time on the non-stop debate, and I will say that the truth bullet you need to look for is actually the sheath of the sword. Just remember, the sheath also had a mark on it.
No, that's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
One-syllable words for Mondo here, everybody. He's kinda behind.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
Most people would, yes.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
Seems plausible.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The one part that showed that she never used the sword. Well, we've had a good look at her. It's not that, because we saw the gold paint on it, and it's definitely not this, so how about the palms of her hands?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Where the hell did that come from?
No, that's not it at all.
I'm as confused as you, dude. But there is a very good reason as to why she couldn't get the gold paint off. Because at nighttime, the water turns off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my.
Hifumi, hold your nose, dude.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
She's got you there, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insompliment. I don't know.
An insult, obviously.
Or that.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword.
Oh my. I know what this means.
But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Oh my. The one who actually held the knife and attacked first. Oh Lord.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
I never would have believed it.
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation,
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Wow.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Yeah?
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
I think my heart just gave out. I don't know if I can stand being in this anymore.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky?
No kidding.
For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
Ow.
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Please don't let this be true. Oh, this hurts. Ow.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Ouch, this hurts even more.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Very poorly, but yeah.
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired.
In the worst way.
She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
I don't want it to be.
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument! You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it!
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
We were on a time limit?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Oh, man. All these details I didn't want to know. And now we need to find who actually did it. All signs point to somebody, I don't know. Oh, okay, come on, we gotta think of something else. A new battle plan. Hopefully this non-stop debate will bring up some answers. What do we have in the case of truth bullets? Just one. Let's try to figure this out.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
No need to panic, Toko. Because if I know anything about that truth bullet, a lot of us have known the answer from the very beginning. There was one clue left by the victim, and hopefully it'll help us figure it out. One more time, and this statement came way early on.
But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Bam.
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Actually, yes, there is. Looking at the evidence again, just take a look at her index finger.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still... what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
I think I saw this on Lost once.
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
Yes, Chihiro, tell us about the numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
We're screwed.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
What?
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Turn your Vita upside down.
Huh? What?
Tell me, please.
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Everybody turn your computer monitor upside down. This is where it gets nuts.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Ouch.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
No.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Makoto, you really need to play Professor Layton, Phoenix Wright. Something else. It's not that hard, dude.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Oh, Kyoko's getting fed up with this. Really? I never would have guessed.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Thank you.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
It's Hifumi! The guy right next to me. Clear as day. A lot of you called it from the very beginning because if it wasn't blatantly obvious. This is the best part of the game. Let's go ahead and choose our culprit. But who could it be? Maybe... Alright, I was just kidding with you. If it weren't obvious...
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
What?
If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N.
Junko's name is spelled weird here.
L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Too coincidental.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Ooh.
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
I've been wondering about this for a while. The one thing that looked like it was about to be destroyed, or that partially did get destroyed. Care telling me about this, Leon?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
It's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Alright, he's got a point here.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I can fill in the blanks here. One thing that doesn't really make sense. Where? Well, we know where. When? Well, that's irrelevant. What about the how? Let's find out more about this.
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
Told you it was Hifumi.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Right.
You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
Care to defend yourself, Hifumi? That's when realization kicks in. Oh no, there is another way, but it's absolutely insane. Let's get into the stranger facts.